Hi there Pisces, thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for March. This is going to be a crucial month for your individuality, for your talents, for your creative spirit, for your desire to have your voice heard. But it's not going to be one that you can get all on your own terms. There are going to be astrologers telling you that because there's a solar eclipse in your sign, that the next 6 months are going to be utterly amazing for you. I'm sorry if I'm not one of them. It's not that there isn't fantastic potential, because there is, but we have to be realistic. On the very first day of this month, there's a quarter moon which suggests that someone influential may not be completely swept off their feet by some of your more novel ideas, so there can be a test early in the month. And also it's true that with Mercury and initially Venus located in the most sensitive part of your horoscope, your own inner fuel and desire may not be that intense in the first week of the month. Once Mercury moves into your sign on the 5th, it will get better. Your mind will step up a gear, and any project which has been on the back burner can start to pick up momentum. Perhaps the most profound news of this month is not the solar eclipse, it's the arrival of Mars on the 6th in the most prominent part of your horoscope, your 10th house, your midheaven. Here it joins up with the more restrictive energies of Saturn. Now Saturn's been testing you out over the last 7 or 13 months. And it's really been asking you to check out what you really want from your career or your worldly interactions. If you really put your mind to it, over the next couple of years, you can achieve some fantastic success. But it's not going to happen without a great deal of perspiration. It can't just get there through inspiration. But what Mars is going to do is reinforce your self-confidence for the rest of this month. In fact, through to the end of May. It's also going to come back into this location in August and September. So if you are someone who's very goal-orientated and wants to get your voice heard and wants to have breakthroughs and successes, whatever your ambitions and desires and interests are, this is certainly going to help you. But as soon as the 9th, we get to that solar eclipse. And this solar eclipse can inflame your hopes because it's in opposition with your ruling planet of Jupiter. But Jupiter's in a part of your horoscope where it's in detriment because it's opposing your ruler. And here, it can really heap up your hopes. But also, both these planets are squaring up with Saturn. Saturn is not a planet to underestimate. It can be very restrictive. So the more you set yourself unrealistic goals, or you have idealistic hopes which are not thought through in a very practical and pragmatic way, the more you may find yourself disappointed over the next half year. It's also true to say that this solar eclipse is not going to be working in isolation. It's going to be working with the lunar eclipse in Libra of the 23rd. So whatever individual hopes you have, you can't just neglect or negate how this is going to interact closely with others. Whether it's an emotional, romantic or business partnership, you are going to find that you can't do things totally your own way. There are going to be rules and regulations and expectations for you to fit in. However, between the 9th and 12th, you can find yourself at your idealistic best. And when it comes to coming up with some really unusual ideas, you can be very imaginative. When it comes to putting them into operation, you may find that it's all a bit too much. However, the arrival of Venus in your sign of the 12th is a real helping hand. Because if there has been any concerns or doubts, or even partings of the way romantically in the early parts of this month, you can draw a line in the sand and feel much more self-confident. In fact, you're going to be oozing sex appeal from the 12th onwards. Just be aware, however, that Venus is going to be connecting with Neptune, your other co-ruler, between the 18th and the 23rd. And you could meet someone who is absolutely spellcast by you. But whether this is the right relationship, take your time. It could seem like a match made in heaven, but just ease your way into this situation, because if you do get into something with all of your heart, as you well know, you will give it everything, but could then end up feeling crestfallen or perhaps worse. Now the Sun's going to be moving into a much earthier location on the 20th, followed by Mercury, asking you to weigh up any plans that you've put into progress on the back of that solar eclipse, to make sure that they will be workable, that they will have tangible outcomes. But also, by the 23rd, we reach that lunar eclipse. And it's really, the financial side of things has to really work around those individual hopes that you have on the back of that solar eclipse. So you need to temper that part of you that is the big dreamer of the zodiac. I personally love Pisces people and find Pisces people wonderful to be with. But that shimmering way that you look at things differently and the mutability you have can see your ideas altering. But I think you're going to encounter people who want exact figures, exact costs, and could be really quite scrutinising when it comes to your biggest goals and aims. And however much you put a big front on it, the questions are going to be asked, and you're going to need to have the answers, particularly from the 26th when Saturn goes into a rewind. But also stay flexible, because in the last few days of this month, there could be an opportunity around your financial situation which can fall from nowhere, but you may have to be quite nimble on your feet to make this work for you and to capitalise upon it. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Have a great March, and thank you.